Part 3 of the superhero community deck build, plus a treat coming right up. Welcome to Wizards Whimsy. I'm your host, Patrick. Today we're going to continue the superhero series where I give some ideas on cards that I would put in these superhero decks. And today it's going to be Iron Man, Titan of Innovation. Iron Man, Titan of Innovation is a 5-drop 4/4. He has flying and haste. He is a legendary artifact creature, human hero. His ability, Genius Industrialist, whenever he attacks, he creates a treasure token, and you can sacrifice a non-creature artifact. If you do, search your library for an artifact card that is 1+ that sacrificed artifact's mana value, and you put it into play. So he creates a treasure. If you don't have a soul ring out, you can sack that treasure, go get that soul ring. Then the next time you attack, you can sack the soul ring, go get the signet, just continuing on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and so forth and so on. I do have some ideas on some of the artifacts to run and a couple of the creatures, instant sorcery. We'll go over that. But also, I wanted to talk, since it is the holiday season, about gathering together with your friends, with your play group or whatever. If you're doing a potluck, I got a nice easy recipe that you can use, and I'm going to go over that because much like magic, whenever you're cooking, you're taking one thing and you're building upon it. So you're stacking the flavors. You're creating a stack, you're stacking the flavors, you're stacking the textures, and it all comes together in the end for the win. Today I'm going to show you Hasselback Sausage Bite. It's 6 ingredients, takes about 30 minutes or so to make, and you'll knock it out of the park with this at your next gathering, whether it's a Christmas party, whether it's with a play group, or just sitting around and wanting something to snack on. This is something that is very delicious and easy to make. You can even get your kids to help make it if you have children. So let's go ahead and jump right into that. Like I said, it's 6 ingredients. You're going to use sausage, mayo, mustard, peppercini peppers. You're going to use some peach preserves and some salt. And you make 2 different sauces. You're going to make a glaze for the sausage, and then you're going to make a dipping sauce. The sausage you're going to cut into 1/4 inch thick pieces, and you're going to leave about a 1/4 inch or so whenever you cut. You're not going to go all the way through. That way it kind of fans out a little bit, and then you can actually cut that up into smaller sections to where you might have 2 pieces, 3 pieces, 4 pieces, or however. And it's really simple to do, and we're going to go ahead and get right into that. I have all the ingredients for the dipping sauce, and I have all the ingredients for the glaze already in here. We're going to mix that up, and then we're going to get into slicing up the sausage and getting it prepared. Now, you do want to preheat your oven to 425, and this is going to cook for about 15 to 20 minutes. Let's go ahead and get into what is in the sauce. In the glaze that we're going to be using, we have 1.5 tablespoons of mustard and 1.5 tablespoons of peach preserves. So we're going to get this mixed up, and that way we can put it on the sausage. When we put this on the sausage, the main thing is to try to get it into the little crevices that we've created when we cut it. There that is, nice and mixed up. In the dipping sauce, we have our mayo, our pepperoncinis, a little bit of peach preserve, and a little bit of mustard, and a little bit of salt. And we're going to get that mixed up. Don't worry, I'll have the recipe down in the description. All the measurements and stuff for everything you need is going to be in the description below. I'm going to link to Southern Living, where I actually got this recipe from. So hopefully you like it, and hopefully get a chance to try it out. Like I said, with the sausage, we're going to take it and we're going to start cutting. And we want it about a 1/4 inch, and we don't want to cut all the way through. We're just trying to get a nice little fan going on, and then we can cut it into smaller sections. And when we glaze it, we're going to line a cookie sheet with some parchment paper. We don't want anything to stick, because while it's cooking, the sugars from the preserves, they will actually start to caramelize, and we don't want to be fighting with getting it off, so we're going to use some parchment paper. The sausage that I'm using is from Double D Wild Game Processing. It's a local processing company where they are processing your wild game. They have a house recipe using non-game animals, so with pork. This sausage is probably the best sausage that I've eaten as far as your pork smoked sausage goes. I will definitely pick this over any other brand that I come across. If you're in Southeast Texas, I'd give this family a call and see if they have any available, what else they might have house made that's available. Of course, it's not going to be wild game, but it will be your pork. And if you're a hunter and you need to process any of your animals, I would take it to this place here. If you're not processing it yourself, go here, see what they have to offer. I'll have a link to their Facebook page in the description below so that you can check that out. You could use a brush to brush it on, but I use this little spoon so that I can try to, like I said, I want to get in between those slices, right? I want this preserve and mustard mix to get in there. As you know, with pork, it's it marries very well with your fruits and stuff. So, doing something, enhancing it, we're building upon it. We're creating a stack of flavors here. We have the jalapeno cheese sausage. We have the mustard preserve. Then we have the dipping sauce. I mean, it's all created, layer upon layer. It's like Iron Man, if you want to think about it like that, because we didn't get Iron Man until Tony Stark got hurt and he had to build a suit of armor. And that's what we're doing here. We're building a suit of armor out of mustard and peach preserves so that this sausage will be even better. All right, so that's about it. We're going to go put these in the oven for 15-20 minutes, and we'll come back and take a look and see how they are. All right, so we got those treats in the oven. They'll be in there for about 15-20 minutes, and while we do that, we'll just go ahead and go over ideas of cards that I would put in Iron Man, Titan of Innovation. Now, we went over him earlier, but we'll go over him again now. He is a legendary artifact creature, human hero. He is a 4/4. He's a 5-drop. It is 3 generic and a blue and a red. He has flying and haste. He also has an ability, Genius Industrialist. Whenever Iron Man attacks, create a treasure token. Then you may sacrifice a non-creature artifact. If you do, search your library for an artifact card with mana value equal to 1+ the sacrificed artifact's mana value. Put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. Now, blue and red. Blue is not really my color. I am trying to learn it. Putting it onto the battlefield tapped is kind of bad depending on the artifacts that you're trying to use. Let's go ahead and go over the cards that actually came with the secret layer. First up, we'll have Galvanic Blast. It is a 1-drop, red mana, instant. Galvanic Blast deals 2 damage to any target. Metalcraft, Galvanic Blast deals 4 damage instead if you control 3 or more artifacts. Now, if you have your commander, your soul ring, a land out, a treasure, this is going to deal 4 damage, and that is what we're looking for. We're looking to deal some damage. So one of the other cards that came with the set is Inventor's Fair. Now, I love this card. It's a legendary land. It works well with your artifacts. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 3 or more artifacts, you gain 1 life. You can tap to add a colorless, or you can pay 4, tap and sacrifice it, and then search your library for an artifact card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Activate only if you control 3 or more artifacts. This card can be online as almost as soon as you play it. That's one of the things that I really like about it. And it's, like I said, it's a tutor for an artifact. Any artifact, you put it in your hand, so It's something that you can go and grab something, play it, attack with Iron Man, sack that, go get something else, and just, keep building off of. Of course, we saw the artwork for this earlier, Soul Ring. It's a 1-drop, tap, add 2 generic mana artifact. Of course, they also give you a treasure token. It's Iron Man's mask. Sacrifice this token, add 1 mana of any color. And anytime Iron Man attacks, he's going to be going, he's swinging in for that attack. He's going to go ahead and create that treasure. If you don't have your Soul Ring, like I said earlier, you sack the treasure, go get your Soul Ring, and then on your next turn, it'll untap, and you can use that to go get something else. So depending on the artifacts and the mana value of the artifacts that we have in the deck is how good that we can actually progress and pod into more artifacts or game-winning artifacts. Commander's Plate, it does work really well with Iron Man. It's a 1-drop artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +3/+3 and has protection from each color that's not in your commander's color identity. It's equipped a commander for 3 or equipped to a regular creature for 5. With the artifacts, one of the things that we want to do, we want to make sure that we have cards in our hand. And if we sacrifice a 1-drop artifact with Iron Man's ability whenever he's attacking, we can get Ichor Wellspring. It's a 2-drop artifact. When Ichor Wellspring enters the battlefield or is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, draw a card. So essentially, we attack, we sacrifice our 1-drop artifact, we get this, draw a card, and then on the next turn when we attack, we'll sacrifice Ichor Wellspring, and then we'll go get a 3-drop. Another card that we'd put in the 2-drop spot would be Mind Stone. It is a 2-drop artifact, tap, add a mana, or you can pay 1, tap and sacrifice Mind Stone and draw a card. One of the creature artifacts that I would go and get off of a 3-drop artifact would be Roaming Throne. It's an artifact creature golem. It's 4-drop, has Ward 2. As it enters the battlefield, you choose a creature type. Roaming Throne is the chosen type in addition to other types. And if a triggered ability of another creature you control of the chosen type triggers, it triggers an additional time. So when Iron Man attacks, he's going to trigger and put a treasure into play. So with Roaming Throne out, he will put 2 treasures into play. Now, one card that I think would play really well into Iron Man would be Gonti's Aetherheart. It's a 6-drop legendary artifact. Whenever Gonti's Aetherheart or another artifact enters the battlefield under your control, you get 2 energy. You can pay 8 energy, exile Gonti's Aetherheart, and take an extra turn. Now, as far as the 8-drop artifacts go, I'd put Darksteel Monolith. It is an 8-drop artifact, indestructible. Once each turn, you may pay 0 rather than pay the mana cost for a colorless spell you cast from your hand. Now, this would be a cheeky win to actually pull off, but enchantment aura that definitely fits into Iron Man would be Mechanized Production for 4 mana. It is 2 generic and 2 blue. It's an enchant artifact you control. At the beginning of your upkeep, create a token that's a copy of enchanted artifact. Then if you control 8 or more artifacts with the same name as one other, you win the game. So you can put this on any of your artifacts, preferably one that is indestructible. And I think this would be a very fun way to win the game, actually. Just making copies of an artifact, maybe something that destroys stuff when it enters. There's a lot of talk with Psych Rift, Psych Rift Overload. That comes around a lot, but there is a great instant that we can put into Iron Man that would be perfect for him. And for the most part, you would not be bouncing hardly anything that you have in this deck. It is Desynchronization. It is a 4-drop instant. It's return each non-land permanent that is not historic to its owner's hand. And to be historic, it has to be a legendary, an artifact, or a saga. Now, there are a lot of cards that we could put, and if we go energy route, we want to use Aetherworks Marvel. It's a 4-drop legendary artifact. Whenever a permanent you control is put into a graveyard, you get an energy. You can pay 6 energy, look at the top 6 cards of your library, and you can cast a spell from among them without paying their mana cost. You'll put the rest on the bottom of your library in random order. So what's great about this is you're sacrificing, so even your tokens, they actually hit the graveyard before they disappear. So you're going to get that trigger, you're going to get that energy, and boom, you're tapping, paying 6 energy, getting something, casting it for free, it's coming in, then you can start building that energy up again. If you have Gonti's Aetherheart out and you're casting an artifact, whenever it enters, you're going to be generating energy. So this is something that you could do like every other turn, just about. It's a way to filter out, and again, casting spells for free is always great. These are the cards that I would run. I'm not exactly sure how I would fill out the rest of the deck, and I'd love to hear your ideas on what to put with that. With that said, I believe it is time to go grab those tasty little Hasselback Sausage Bites and give those a try. So be back in just a minute. Thanks for checking out this video. It means a lot to me that you checked it out and that you made it this far. If you like this content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like button, and leave a comment. Let me know if this is something you'd like to see more of, where we're doing a little bit of deck tech and we're doing a little bit of food tech, and we're just kind of mixing it all together to come up with something great. And if you really enjoy this recipe, let me know. If you want to see other recipes, let me know. Let me know definitely what kind of cards you would add into Iron Man. And if you think the cards that I chose are worth putting in, or if I need to take it back to the drawing board. This is something that you can do. It's pretty easy. It's pretty quick. It took, a few minutes to prep, and then, about 15, 20 minutes to cook. I cooked this for about 16 minutes, and, it looks great. You can see how it opened up. That's why you're slicing, but you're not slicing all the way through. We do have the dipping sauce, and we do have this, so we can just jump right into it and start eating. But, again, I wanted to thank you for checking out this video, and I definitely want to know your feedback on if this is something that you'd like to see more of, where I'm doing a little bit of a deck tech and also doing a little bit of a food tech, and how this can actually help with your play groups and when you're gathering together, give you some ideas on potluck to bring or anything like that. So I have a lot of ideas on different foods. I brought chili, I brought duck burgers. I've done all kinds of things with my play group, and it's something that I enjoy doing, and hopefully someone in your play group also enjoys cooking. And if they do, make sure you share this video to them and see what they think about this idea. Without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump right into some of this. I'm just going to spoon a little bit of this dipping sauce onto a piece here and give it a shot. Oh, just fold it on up. Oh yeah, look at all that goodness there. That is what I'm talking about. That is perfection right there. You got some sweet, you got a little bit of heat. It marries so well together. It's just like the artifacts in Iron Man's deck. They just go together so well. I'm going to go ahead and get me another one of these. And again, if you're in the Southeast Texas area, check out Double D Wild Game Processing and see what they have available. That is so good. Until next time, keep slinging those spells.